Research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. Albert Zane. Good morning to one and all gathered here. I am Yuhingu Yashvi from 2nd Sem MSc Data Science, and I'm honored to extend a warm welcome to all of you for this keynote session of ICC Tech 2024. As we all know, artificial intelligence has changed technology to such an extent that we are amazed at the way it has transformed the world. AI is everywhere, and it almost looks like we are ready to replace Mark Andreessen's famous quote: software is eating the world with AI is eating the world. In today's keynote session, we will be delving into the various aspects of AI with special focus on generative AI for researchers. I extend my hearty welcome to the speaker of this session, Mr. Mahesh Narayan, Vice President, Generative AI GTM Bangalore, a leading technology consulting firm. I welcome you, sir. I kindly request Dr. Muruganandam A to present a sapling to our resource person as a token of love. Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure to introduce the keynote speaker of the day. Mr. Mahesh Narayan is an experienced professional with 18 years of expertise in analytics and AI, specializing in solutions for technology platform, telecom, and high-tech sectors. He excels in developing and implementing AI solutions for constant moderation and has experience in customers and sales analytics. He is passionate about sharing knowledge through guest lecture at prestigious business schools and delivering talks at conferences. He holds a patent and has authored several thought leadership publications. In July 2022, he was awarded the AI and Analytics Industry Leader Award by 3AI. Additionally, Mr. Mahesh Nara has experience in management consulting, technology sales, sales pipeline management, sales origination, and sales management. It is an honor to have you as a speaker today, sir. I'm, sh- I'm sure we'll have a lot to take away from this session, sir. I now invite Mr. Mahesh Narayan to enlighten us to the world of generative AI. Over to you, sir.
Very good morning to all of you. So, my name is Mahesh, and absolute pleasure to be in front of you. Maybe I'll share whatever little I know, and I'll expect that you will be able to use some of the things that we are discussing here today. I think world as we know has transformed a lot, right? I mean, from the time when ChatGPT got introduced till now, I think the world has changed a lot, right? While I kind of introduce the topic, I've asked him to open a lecture, and I will try to make your lives a little easier. I'm sure all of you take a lot of notes in your class. So what if I give you an alternative where the software or the system can record and create notes for you automatically? I'll give that demo, and then I'm assuming that will help you a lot. But while he does that, can you open that link and just copy that URL and keep it? You don't have to play the lecture. Okay, so the topic for the day is generative AI and how it can help in learning. And I assume, I'm sure most of you are students and some of you are researchers. So first is, how do we use generative AI for learning better? And second is, how can researchers use it for doing better research, right? Those are the two topics I want to cover. And if you can go back to the slides and give me the... Yeah, so I'm going to cover these three topics. Little bit of introduction. All of you would for sure know generative AI, but just a little bit of level setting so that you understand some of the words that I'm speaking. How can we use generative AI for learning and research? And finally, what does it mean for you and me? Yeah? Before I start, a show of hands, how many of you have at least used ChatGPT or any of the GPTs or generative AI at least once? I thought so. For people who have not picked up their hands, please, when you go back home, try and use one of them. I'm sure you'll be very happy that you got introduced to these technologies. Generative AI, as the name suggests, it generates, right? Unlike the earlier technologies which were prevalent, it was making our lives easier by automating things, by analyzing data and things like that. Here, when you ask a question, it will create new content for you. Content can be text, can be video, can be image, can be audio, and things like that, right? So things like, please create a video of your college. We have a conference. Can you create a short video with the following text or with the following script? Yeah, the algorithm will create a video for you. Yeah, I think earlier you were spending time to stitch images, stitch voiceovers, and things like that. Here you can do that in an automated fashion, right? And it is creating based on the learning data set it has. It will understand what the kind of questions you're asking, and based on its understanding, it will give out the output for you, right? That is generative AI, right? Any AI which is generating some content for you, which is not there handy, is what generative AI means, okay? So that all of us are in the same level of understanding. How can we use it for learning? And before I get into this, a quick demo. All of us, I'm sure, would take a lot of notes, right? Maybe you've copied, right? It's asking what topic, and I said it's economics because I copied an economics lecture. And it is creating notes. So while you create notes, what do you do? Whenever you are, can you also share that screen? While you create notes of any lecture or any talk, what do you write? Can we interact a little? Bullet points, most important by maybe some areas, topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, topic 1, few things under those and things like that, right? and which will essentially help you to summarize what the speaker is saying. What if you had a tool which will do that? Of course, it is taking some time because it's a long video. It is understanding the context, and it's a video of a very reputed economics professor on an economics class, and hence it is taking some time to generate it. It is very similar to what you would have done attending a class. And mind you, see, if you see if you can go down a little, if you can, it is giving you some context about the lecture as well. What was the teaching style? What was the overall topic? Go down. And what was the few areas, right? Microeconomics as engineering, and then think about those short snippets. And it all did that while I was introducing the topic to you, all right? Go down a little. So it is kind of summarizing that as we speak, and it's also giving you some important quotes. The professor would have quoted some important economist, and it is kind of giving those summaries for you, right? This is turbolearn.ai. Please use it extensively while you're learning. You can also, if required, I mean, this is free version. I did not upgrade it to premium, but if you take the premium version, it'll be much more beneficial for you. But again, what I'm trying to show you here is how can you use generative AI to learn better. All right? And this was one of the examples where we are using one tool, and you have a large lecture. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much time, maybe 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever. Yeah, and for you to really take notes and be attentive and to take the notes of this style, trust me, you need to be an economics a postgraduate or a PhD to be able to take such level of notes. Trust me, I have a post-graduation in economics as well. I doubt whether I could have taken a notes of this standard. Yeah? Now this is available to you in a jiffy. It's available to you in a manner which will help you to learn these subjects better. Okay? With that, let me go back to the slide. Thank you. Sorry, I'm making you work. So, how can you use generative AI to learn better, right? For those people who have used ChatGPT, what all questions have you asked so far? I know maybe some could be trivial, some could be entertainment related, some could be whatever, maybe investment related, but can you tell me a few questions you've asked ChatGPT? Coding errors, yeah? You've done some coding, you pasted it, said that, can you detect errors for me? Absolutely great. Anything else? Synopsis, summarize it for you. Okay? What else? Sorry? To write a speech. You know, I'm speaking at a conference like this. I'm loss of words. Can you tell me how to start better? Absolutely. What else? Write an output, meaning a summary or something like that. Okay, okay. But have you ever asked it to create a quiz? Let me give you another example. So one of my colleagues was taking an exam called CISA, CISA. That's a security, very tough certification, and you need to buy books, you need to buy past test papers and things like that, and some quizzes, and very costly ones, $500 and all that. And he was telling me that, hey, this is very costly, how can I do it? I said, do you have the study material? He said, yes, but it's 500-page PDF document. I said, doesn't matter, can you send it to me? Yeah, and then I uploaded that to a site called PDF, okay, forgetting the name, but even you can upload it on ChatGPT, and asked it to create quizzes, yeah? Now quizzes, I asked it to create list of questions, and maybe starting with easy ones, and then I asked it to create 10 quizzes of 10 questions each, starting from easy to master level toughest one. And and with answer keys separately, and things like that. And it did a fantastic job, and it helped the person to prepare. So the first lesson, and I did that for each lesson. Yeah, each chapter. So think about it like this, that chapter number 1, the person has studied. Now he wants to check how well it has studied. It's taking quiz 1, which is easy one, and then he starts taking it till the 10th one, which is the toughest one. He himself will know where he is in the learning journey, right? And it will also tell later which are the topics which you've not understood, and what are the areas in that topic which you should kind of revise again. Yeah, think of, I mean, it is almost like having a very senior teacher beside you 24 hours and telling you what you should be learning, where you are going wrong, and things like that, right? So things like direct question answering, homework help, tough topic deep dives. You want to understand some topic in a little more deeper manner. So you are understanding maybe in economics inflation, right? And you want to overall understand inflation, but you want to know the nuances of inflation, right? Why, when, how, things like that. Can you do some deep dives? Yeah. Of course, reading comprehension, many times some of the topics will be written very, very tough. So I do that very, very regularly, where I asked ChatGPT or others to explain a topic in a layman's term. It does fabulously well. Once I did that for my son. He was studying something in space, and I asked, can you explain black hole to a 5-year-old? And it has simplified the topic so well that I could kind of explain it to my son in a very, very simple manner. And think of it, black hole itself, I don't think even astronomers understand what it is, right? Now, if you have to explain it to a 5-year-old, how simplified you should make it, right? So for very tough topic, and you're reading a very book which is very tough to understand, you can use it to maybe simplify it in a very, very layman term so that you understand it very, very minutely. Yeah, language learning for sure. And I think one of the very important benefits of this technology is that you can now learn any topic from any language. Meaning, so far our education system were based on primarily on one language and maybe on another alternate language, maybe our vernacular language. But have we studied maybe economics from a Chinese text or a German text or a Japanese text? Why not? Are we assuming that these texts don't have good books? No, right? But those were totally outside our even consideration set, right? But this technology is ensuring that you can also learn from such texts, right? Language is not a barrier anymore at all. Yeah, translation is already a cracked science in computers, and to the extent of even you want you want a tough topic to be explained to you in your vernacular language, absolutely you can. Yeah, maybe you don't understand English so well, it doesn't matter. If it is a topic, you can ask it to verbalize to you in your own mother tongue, and mother tongue can be, I can't think about a very rare language in India. Yeah, you can even translate it in that language, right? Mock interviews. I don't know how many of, I'm sure all of you will face interviews very soon, or would have already faced interviews. Before going to an interview, please ensure that you are doing mock interviews for yourself. You upload your CV, upload the job description, ask it to give you list of questions you will get. And again, you can scale it up from very basic to very tough. Yeah, and you be ready. In fact, I've seen in fact one of the colleges I was speaking to, and they specifically wanted this topic of interview preparation. I gave them a tool, I'm forgetting the name, where you can be in front of the tool. It's a video-based tool. It will ask question, you answer, and you'll get immediate feedback. Your posture is not right. You're not smiling. You're not looking in the eye. You're not sounding confident. Your answer is inaccurate. Things like that. Who gave you such feedback in the past? No one, right? Maybe at the most your parents or maybe your brother sometimes, but you never took them seriously, right? But maybe some of your professors. But I doubt whether they will have so much time to spend, minute time with you and give such minute feedback, right? So those are some of the other advantages. Of course, feedback for writing is obvious. I mean, those of you who wants to, especially research scholars who wants to improve upon their writing skills, this is a God's gift for you. Yeah. Interactive learning, learning through discussions, quizzing, updates on current events and whatnot. And very other interesting thing, if you want to be also become an expert in a topic, say in economics, you're debating on the current economic situation and you want to really debate it out. You can debate it out with the technology. You can ask it to provide you counter arguments. You can ask it to, whenever you are giving your argument, you can ask it to critique it. Yeah, things like that. Yeah, which you would have otherwise not been able to do. Even if you're in front of a professor, he would have given you some critical inputs, but he will not be too detailed in those critique. Here it will critique to the point of you using certain words to you not understanding certain topics and things like that, right? A very rich counter arguments and very rich feedback that you will get from a technology like this. I will maybe pause. I've covered a lot of things together at very short time. Maybe pause a little to see if you are stuck somewhere, you want to ask some questions, please. Yes, please.
So first of all, thank you for taking your time and talking to us today. You spoke about how Gen AI can be used in order to use resources from other languages.
Yeah.
So my doubt is it as efficient as you would gain insights from the traditional English language? Like the efficiency, like I studied a paper recently. I was writing a review paper on sentiment analysis for multilingual sentiment analysis, and using CNN, RNN models, and the accuracy levels for non-English languages were comparatively lower. So I was curious as to why it would, whether it would present the same amount of efficiency with other languages as well.
Absolutely. So we're talking of LLMs and not building your own CNN-based models. So typically LLM, because of the size of the data set, it's fairly accurate, yeah? And especially with regard to different languages. Of course, if you ask me that you want to learn something in Brahmi, an ancient language, maybe the learning data set will not be as rich, right? Because it is as rich as the amount of learning data set it will get, right? But for commonly spoken, written language data sets, it does a fabulous job. And you may want to try it. Maybe you download any Japanese text on economics, maybe on microeconomics, or maybe demand curve kind of a chapter, upload it and test it for yourself. Yeah, it is superfluous and it is so smooth, and you can also start interacting with the document. Yeah, so from an accuracy standpoint, whether it is as accurate and whether it is as nuanced it would be on an English language text, may not, but it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time about the amount of learning data set it get exposed to, but it is super good for all learning purpose. But if you are a researcher, you are doing something very nuanced work, may not, doesn't matter. For learning, you're in good hands.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Good question, thank you. Any other question in terms of how you can use Gen AI for learning? Yes, please.
Good morning, sir. Myself Vignesh from MSc Data Science. I have a small question. Actually, as you said, LLM has a constraint of all the languages and all those barriers, right? So it has a large language model exactly. So what is an alternative for LLM?
So currently you're talking about, we are talking also about short language models as well for very niche areas. Yeah. But LLM itself is a progression over traditional AI methods, right? Yes. I mean, it all started with the 2017 seminal paper called "Attention is All You Need," and from there all this started, right? Yes, yes. So it has progressed quite far. Now, if you were to ask me whether I can predict the next language model or next model which can do better than LLM, I may not be qualified enough to answer that question. But for now, I think LLMs are doing fairly well. And of course, we are also using some short language models for very niche topics. Yeah.
So do you think even if you have a less parameter constraint will help us in handling a lesser amount of data or something?
It's not about the quantum of data, but it is about the richness of data in short language models. So if you are looking at a very niche topic and you have almost every text with regard to that topic, then you would do a good job. You need not have so many million parameters to make that stronger. So if you need a larger number of parameters when your topics are varied, yeah, meaning you need the language models to understand about agriculture and astronomy, you need a large parameters. But if you are only understanding agriculture and that too soil something, then you may not need so many parameters.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, so with that, maybe we'll progress a little and get into Gen AI for research. How many research scholars here? Okay, less number, but that's okay. I think even students would need to do a lot of research, right? I think first question is which research topic to choose, right? That is the first one. Then you want a lot of literature survey about background knowledge for that topic. Then sources and citations, answering specific research questions, offering statistical data analysis, creating research proposals, proofreading, manuscript preparation, feedback, and things like that, right? And in all of these steps, generative AI can help you in a super efficient and effective manner. Before all that, I think one skill all of you should have in you, and if possible, get a certification before you pass out from this college, should be a course on prompt engineering. Yeah? This is not an option. It is a must. Yeah, tomorrow when you join your job, if you don't know what is prompting, if you don't know what is prompt engineering, you will lack the basic skills which are required in the workforce. Yeah? So one quick input, please ensure doesn't matter which certification, please spend some time studying about it, reading about it, do the tests, get certifications, all right? I think one of the skills which is told to be very, very important in the today and tomorrow is problem formulation. All this while, you would have heard our seniors telling us, don't be the problem, be the solution, right? Here, it is a little different. He is saying that your ability to define the problem defines whether you are good or not. So in this day and age, where many things can be done by the computers and the systems, and especially generative AI, where do you differ from those systems? It is your ability to formulate the problem. Okay, you've not understood it. I'm sure all of us have gone to a doctor. Yeah, what value does a doctor add to you? Is it by giving you the solution or by understanding the problem? Sorry? Solution? Tablets? But tablets is not made by the doctor. Okay? Diagnosis, right? That's the right word, right? And diagnosis, he asks 100 questions, right? Also, he asks you to do a lot of tests, right? And why does he do that? He wants to get into the really root of the problem, right? So even as a professional, we need to be able to ask the right question to the algorithms. Then only we'll get the right answers. If we ask bad questions, we'll get bad answers. If we ask refined questions, we'll get better answers. Answers are there. Yeah, we need to get it, right? So prompting is that science and art. It's not only science, it's also an art, right? So you can do many things, right? You can ask ChatGPT to, act as something. You can say that, I act as a prompt engineer, act as a software engineer, act as a tester, act as a coder, right? You said that you ask it to, identify errors in the code. You can say act as a test engineer and review this code, right? And you can do that in varied manner. You can say that act as maybe Shakespeare, or act as a medical professional and whatnot, right? And you can do many things. I mean, highlight some of the information, choose relevant tone of voice. I do this quite a lot. I tweet a lot. Put my views on LinkedIn a lot, and I use ChatGPT for my formulation, right? I not only help it to summarize large text, but also change the tone. I always say permutation combinations in prompting. I would really recommend, and this is a full course that can be taken, yeah. So I would recommend that you take this course in any of the online forums and get a certification for it. To be proofread, it does I mean, it will do much better than your, your academic guide. Yeah, with huge respect for all academic guides, but it does a much better job. Topic sentences, I mean, you want to know what is a header, you want to know the topic areas, things like that. This also helps you a lot. Say, as students, you're writing for a academic journal, you need to, maybe present a paper at a conference, or you're competing in an inter-school kind of competition. You want it to help you to summarize it in form, those kind of things. It'll do a fantastic job. Yeah, transition, introduction. I think introduction is one area where many people struggle. You write a 500 page document, and then you wanted to introduce, you want an introduction, very, very powerful introduction. Maybe you can use this help to, does a fabulous job. Because as you would know that you only learn by interacting, you only learn by doing it, making mistakes and things like that, right? This helps you to make as many mistakes as you want. Data wrangling, I think ChatGPT has a very important capability called advanced data analysis, especially for those students who work with the large data sets. So one thing I want you to, okay, this is only available for power users or plus users, if you give $20. But if you have a large Excel file, you want to do some analysis, run, some of you are from analytics, if you want to run some models to check the relationship of certain variables and things like that, it does it on a jiffy, yeah? Upload the whole file, ask questions, it'll analyze it for you, create charts for you, summarize it for you, and whatnot, even create slides for you. Yeah, and those of you who have done a lot of research, specifically primary research and data collection from various data sources, please put them in Excel and upload and ask it to do analysis, right? One thing you can do is to download some maybe data sets from Kaggle, Kaggle. It has a lot of data sets available for you for testing and education. Download it and maybe upload it into ChatGPT and ask it to analyze it for you. Very good way for you to learn how to analyze. Yeah, and especially for analytics guys, you don't have to build models anymore. Yeah, it takes away a lot of your hard work. Yeah, and it doesn't matter the model. If you wanted to run ensemble models, maybe all the models available in the world, and ask it to choose the best model, ask it to tell you the relationships, the predictions, whatnot, it will do to you in jiffy, in no time. Yeah, I could show it in a demo, but I think we are running out of time, may not be possible. Yeah, and also text cleaning up. I mean, I think people from your analytics team will tell you that analytics is not easy, right? You need to prepare the data for ready to be analyzed. So there could be data gaps, missing data parameters, data quality issues, things like that, right? So you can use this to identify that and get the data ready for analysis. So you can also do that. There is one, you can look at this. There's also a capability in Excel itself. They have embedded ChatGPT in Excel, where it will also help you to generate data from the web. Say if you want to apply for a new course, you want to know which are the institutes which are teaching you these courses, which is the time of, which are the months for application, what kind of fees, who are the professors there. I mean, think about the column names, give the column names, it will generate the Excel for you. Yeah, But you need to learn a little as to how to enable that function for you in Excel. You need to download that plugin and make it work for you. Literature review, yeah, I was forgetting that name, Chat PDF. That was a site which will help you to, and it is available free, chatpdf.com. Upload any document and you can chat with it. Yeah, yeah. Maybe we can show a demo. Can you open chatpdf.com? Yeah. So there are a few other sites, and these are all research-ready sites which help you to do good level of research using these tools. Chat PDF. While I'm doing this, maybe you can tell me what you want to analyze. Do you have a PDF, large PDF on your laptop? No? Okay. Do you want to know Information Technology Act? Yeah, let it analyze. Okay, does it faster these days? Okay, tell me the questions. What do you want to know about IT Act? This is a relevant question. Is this a relevant question? Yes, no? You have the answer. Yeah? And you can ask any such questions for any documents. Yeah? So, it is as easy as I showed it to you. And I'm not even logged in actually. And I pay $5 per month for getting a plus user advantage. And this is, I showed it to you even without logging in. Right? You can download any document that you have, and even ones which you don't understand, which are esoteric, which are very, very tough, and it will help you to summarize it for you, make it easy for you, ask it questions. Like IT Act and all you're asking serious questions, right? This is not an unserious question. This is not a jovial question. It's a serious question. If you copy a friend's Instagram picture without permission, whether you will be held liable, absolutely you will be. Yeah, and that is as per law, right? Now, and many of us don't understand law, right? Hence I showed this example, but it could be any other question from any other document. Let's go back to the. Yeah, so please, I mean, especially for scholars, this is God's gift for you, if not nothing else. This will help you to become a better researcher, help you understand your topics in a much better fashion. You will become a better professional and things like that. Now, the question comes, is it allowed? Of course, there are varied arguments, right? And in some of the universities, it is getting there, yeah? People are allowing it, and if you cite it as a co-author and all that, it is allowing it. There, I mean, and there are a lot of other risks as well. There are a lot of risks as well. I mean, all that I showed you was like magic, I'm sure, but there are a lot of the other side, right? It could be the risks of security, privacy, risks of the algorithms telling you things in a very confident manner while it could be erroneous. Yeah, it is called hallucination, and is very similar to when we hallucinate, right? As humans, if your sodium level goes down, you hallucinate, right? When you hallucinate, you think it is real, but it is not, right? So similarly, algorithms will hallucinate. Of course, researchers are working on it as we speak. People are trying to crack it. Given time, I'm sure it'll be a cracked science. But so far, there are a lot of risks associated with it. Of course, companies are looking at how can we build these AI models responsibly. So hence, responsible AI is a big term. I'm part of that team. We are trying to help really build AI systems to ensure that it is not harming anyone, it is not creating any of these harmful things which will really impact the companies and individuals, all right? So those are things that you have to keep in mind. Now, what does it mean for me? It means that all of us should be on our toes, yeah? Try to ensure that you are acquiring specialist expertise. Earlier, people said that if you are jack of all trades, it is good, but not anymore. You need to be specialized, right? Embrace interdisciplinary skills, right? Don't look down on people who are art enthusiasts or good in, culture, art, things like that. Those are also very important as we speak. Yeah, interdisciplinary skills are becoming more and more important. Yeah. Stay up to date with what's happening in AI. Please read. Please be on Twitter and LinkedIn, whatnot. Understand what are the new acts which are coming into place and things like that. So please be updated as to the newer developments in this field. Emphasize creativity and innovation. It might sound a little counterintuitive, but it is not, right? Because as human beings, if you have to stay relevant, you need to be creative. You need to be innovative, because rest of the things AI will take care. Right? If you have to be efficiency and things like that, AI can take care of it much better than humans. Right? So where do we excel? Creativity, innovation, and things like that. And also learn how to collaborate with AI. Don't look at AI as a competitor or things like that. Now, how can we work? Tomorrow you might be working with a robot, with a humanoid. Yeah, I think we are always hearing about interpersonal skills. It could be inter-technology skills, right? Tomorrow we will be working with a humanoid. How do we work with a humanoid? I don't think even we can fathom what that means for us, right? So things like that. Adapt and learn new skills. I think it's very important, and especially for people like me who are getting older, it is even more important, right? Push yourself to learn newer skills. Because, and I gave you the challenge, right? The prompt engineering, it's a new skill. Please push yourself, get yourself, become an expert, get a certification. Why a certification? But that's an external stamp saying that you're good. Yeah? Human-centric qualities, very important. Empathize, empathy, be good to people, nice to people, be inclusive, things like that. Because those will ensure you have a job, you'll be successful tomorrow. Because a lot of jobs can be done in a very, very different manner by the machines. Yeah, this is how you kind of are getting ready for tomorrow, right? So ensure that you are not only building new skills, but building your humane skills as well, things that we are known as humans. Yeah, you might have been ignoring that for now, but please try to enhance it, because that's very, very important for tomorrow's world. Okay, I think that's what I had for you, and I think I have not taken more time than what I should be taking. Questions, open floor for you. Yes, please. Sorry.
So there was always this thought in the back of my head that with the use of generative AI, it would deplete our ability to articulate. But one point what you said today was very standing out, and what that was asking generative AI for counter arguments, so basically debate with it. So I think that is one good idea for us to improve our pursuit towards articulating better in our speech. What are some other things we can do with generative AI so that we can improve our forms of articulation and formulating things? Like you also said that problem formulation is important. So prompt engineering would be one good use for that. Any other things we can do?
Also, if you can go back and learn some of the most humane things like storytelling. Yeah, although maybe in earlier times it was taught as a skill, nowadays I don't see that anymore. But once upon a time kind of thing, writing a story, yeah? If that is very, very important to, I mean, in the end of the day, how you narrate something makes a big difference, right? I mean, this session could have been taken by another bot, yeah? But I think I'm empathizing with you, I'm stopping and understanding you, I'm looking at your eyeballs, I'm seeing whether you're attentive, some people are sleeping, all that, and I'm trying to adjust my style, right? That is very important, all right? How do you tell the story, the whole narration, storytelling skills, and not rocket science. It is as simple as once upon a time there lived a king, things like that. Yeah? Learn that, and if you are able to do that in a very effective manner, you will be fabulous. And you will be required a lot in companies, because in companies these days, there are, trust me as I speak, my wife runs a communications company, she is asked to do trainings for the board. The boards want to know how to tell impactful stories. Many times as techies, we tend to feel that people who are learning English, people who are learning art, culture, dance, are not at our level, right? That is wrong. Please embrace those skills. All of us have those skills. I mean, when we were children, we all learned how to draw, how to dance, how to sing. Please imbibe more of those, right? That will make you a better storyteller. Yeah? With empathy. Yeah? And empathy is a very important skill. Trust me, empathy and problem formulation skill will be the two top most important sought after skill. And I'm not even joking. And things like, one example, there is a restaurant in Japan, I'm forgetting, you can look it up. They employ people who have dementia. Think of a situation where you go to a hotel in Bangalore, you ask for vada, he comes and gives you idli. How will you react? Slap. You will use bad words, what not, right? It is ulta there. They are going there, and by the way, dementia means you are bound to forget. They have kept these people who will go and take orders, invariably they'll forget what they asked, but they'll get something else and give you. They want that surprise. They're going there to get that surprise. And think of the empathy. Who in the world will employ dementia people? Come on. But aren't they humans? They need to also live a good standard life, right? Now, otherwise they would have begged on the street, but they have decent life because of such restaurants. People are going there, one, because of empathy, huge empathy. Think of the height of empathy. And they're going to experience the errors. I mean, it is counterintuitive, if you ask me. That is, according to me, I always cite this example as epitome of empathy, right? And all of us as humans have empathy in us. It is God built. It's like the inner whatever thing that we all have, right? Because we know that if one dog is not got hit by something, we always tend to them and things like that. But in our busyness of life, we have forgotten to learn it as a skill, right? Imbibe that more and more. Be very open, be very inclusive, understand each other's differences. Differences is absolutely fine. Those kind of things. I might sound alien now, yeah? Maybe some of the words may not resound to you, but trust me, these are basic human nature. Please try to imbibe that more and more. Yes, please. Any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, please. Yes, sir.
Defense and space sector, whether this can be used, any test cases you know?
Okay, so in space, quite a lot. I mean, if you want to, I think one of the examples was if you are learning a little bit of space, if somebody were to ask that which planet has the most number of moons. I mean, earlier somebody told us maybe Jupiter with 86 moons, but maybe that was a few years from now. Now I think latest data is Saturn with some 146 moons. Now, that is because humans have two problems, right? One is that it might not always answer with a reference of where it got the data from, right? And we are not always updated. So this technology can be used to get answers with the most up-to-date data, right? If you have a NASA database, if you have a ISRO database, if you are querying, you will get the most updated information. That's what I can think about from a space science. Yeah.
Here, just one point I want to highlight, like in the future, the warfare will be an AI generative warfare, like kind of things. So in that aspect, what is your view that you can elaborate?
Sure. So I think, especially in the image sensing space, especially if you have images using drone, using satellites, you can keep a track of what's happening in enemy territory and all that in live fashion. And you can also understand the anomalies. Like the algorithms can say if you are taking satellite image of Ladakh sector, and you want to know what kind of preparations our enemy is making, and you want to get updated on a minute basis. This can't be done humanly, right? So can you use algorithms to keep a track of this, and in automated fashion, if there is any anomaly or any change in some of the images, it will notify you. Yeah, that is one. So from image, video. So if you also have high resolution videos taken from drones, right? And especially in the border sectors, you want to know human movement. Any movement can be detected. Yeah, and because currently you can't man such a long borders, right? It is humanly not possible. So what if you had aerial surveying capability, which will ensure that at a live basis you can detect any small movement, yeah, which will, and then not only can you identify movements, it can also differentiate a movement between a animal movement versus a human movement versus a things like that through heat imaging and things, heat sensing and things like that, right? But it would need a lot of concerted efforts to marry a lot of technologies together to make it work for you. That will be I mean, I have very limited understanding. I'm not an expert. This is from my common sense.
Only last one question,
Sure.
sir. You have one of the PPT you have shown that from right from the research proposal till thesis you can take AI.
Absolutely.
But do you think that by using this the man's efficiency will be reduced?
Yeah, that is a question all the faculty asks, that would you make a person dumb? Absolutely no. Why? Because this is very similar to us using calculators, computers, and things like that. It is progressed a little, but it is not making you redundant. It's not making humans redundant. Still, you need to ask questions, all right? And asking the right questions. But of course, it will make your hard work a little easier. I mean, earlier we were doing donkey's work, right? I mean, data collection, 100 people talking, collecting the data, putting it on a file, putting it back to a computer and all that donkey work, we are making it easier for you, right? But you're not replacing a human, but you're making the monotonous work a little more efficient. It's very similar. In fact, when calculators were launched, we had the same kind of arguments that, oh, maths people will forget. Did we forget maths? No, right? When computers happened, all the bank employees said, oh, bank has stopped. Yeah, did the bank stop? No, right? We've only got better at it, right? So very similar argument, and we'll only get better as human beings. Thank you, sir. Any other questions? Yeah. Last question. Sorry about that. One more. Acha, okay, one, quick. I can hear you.
Hi.
Huh.
So with your session, we got to know that generative AI is like a genie. So whatever we say, it gives it back. So as genie movies also we have seen, we get wishes and we can utilize those wishes in a wrong way. So how do we take the measures to use generative AI in ethical manner?
Yeah, so that's why, governments have laws. Yeah, so the first law is passed in EU. America is thinking about it, similarly with India and other nations. So law is keeping us on track, and as individuals as well, we should know our boundaries, and we can get, as I said, asked a question about using a friend's Instagram pic. It is as similar as that. All of us know at the back end what we are doing is right or wrong, so please use that as a guiding light. But of course, we don't have laws yet, but it's only a matter of time. But please ask the genie questions which will help you without harming anybody else. Know the limits of the technology. Don't misuse it. Don't say things like, you've written an essay while you've taken help from ChatGPT. Always state it. Yeah? I mean, most of the content here are from ChatGPT. I'd mentioned in the sources as well. So please ensure that you are mentioning that and you're not taking credit unduly. So those are some of the
So
things.
it's on the person, sir. If it's in the wrong person's hand, if he, for example, if someone wants to do something bad for a person or a theft, if you just say, I want to rob this bank, give me a plan, it might give it.
Yeah, it can, and it is
So-
true for any other technology as well. A gun can be used for positive purposes and for killing as well. So it is absolutely in our hands. We are responsible for our actions, and know two things. And it's very similar to any other technology, any other tool, anything else. Very similar, but I think the onus is of course on us, and of course governments and companies and things like that, so that we are creating things which are doing it a very responsible manner.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Last, yeah, quickly.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Sir, my question is very basic. You told us who should be using generative AI. I just want to ask who shouldn't be using generative AI.
So I doubt whether there should be any do's and don'ts of who should be using, who should not be. Then we are already biasing it, right? I mean, we are deciding, who are we to decide who should use, who should not, right?
I have a very simple example, sir. We have calculator from ages, yet we don't let it school students use to do their math. Similarly, if we let school students, like from 1 to 10th, use generative AI for their assignments and everything, I think somewhere will harm their critical thinking capacity.
Yeah, that's your point of view, absolutely. And hence, there are restrictions in schools as well. Nowadays, schools don't allow that, right? But I've seen already in class 8, my son uses calculators. Yeah, for certain log functions and things like that. So it's only an argument, while all of us will have our own method of what's doing and not doing not, and those are decided at an institutional level. Schools have their own authority to decide whether class 1 students to class 8 students should use or not, and those restrictions should for sure be there. But standing here, we can't say that this can be used only by these people. This side of the people cannot use it. I doubt whether we have the authority or even the moral right to even say that.
So the conclusive question was that will it affect critical thinking of students? Because we are having the ability to question, but will that make us lose the ability to answer?
Yeah, so I think the basic faculties of mind should be developed for sure, meaning your ability to think logically, do basic maths, to do basic computations, basic communications. After that, you should also teach them, there should be a mandatory course on the ethics of technology. Yeah, I think that those should be taught as well, so that even students know the boundaries and things like that. But it should be, you should not also not let them use certain things which will make them a little better and be ready for tomorrow, right? But then if you forcefully make them do that, you're also making them a little more less competitive, right? But there is no clear cut answer to do this, do that. It is basically, what I'm saying is, develop basic faculties in students. After that, let them also know the boundaries, and that's what we do. All of us know the boundaries ourselves, right? In school and college and all that, we all know in society how to behave, right? Absolutely, they should be taught that, so that when we go out, we behave in the manner which the society expects us to. Yeah? Thank you. Any other questions? No, if there are no questions, thank you so much. I really loved this conversation. I think you were great interactors as well. I think I was not expecting you to be so interactive. I loved the conversation. In fact, I always tell some of the people who invite me that don't give me a topic, just come sit with a chair in front of you and ask you to ask questions. I love that kind of a conversation. Thank you so much. I learned a lot in these small interactions. I hope you did as well. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir, for your thought provoking speech. Your words has inspired us all, and we appreciate your guidance and expertise. I would like to express our sincere thanks to our resource person, Mr. Mahesh Narayan, Vice President, Generative AI GTM Bangalore, for an interesting presentation on generative AI for researchers. Thank you, sir. I kindly request Dr. Muruganandam to present a memento as a token of gratitude and appreciation to our resource person. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Dr. Muruganandam for unwavering support and guidance. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to all the participants who have actively participated and contributed to this session. Esteemed researchers, may your research resonate with success and blaze a trail of enlightenment of future generations. Thank you all.